Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So inside of this video, what we're going to go over is what suffocation marketing is and how this is going to allow you guys to dominate through this recession that's coming up, right? So I haven't looked at the numbers to see if we're actually in a recession right now, but guys, I mean, it's right around the corner. This is actually a unique situation because it's more like it's more stagflation than anything, where the cost of everything is inflating. Like, think about it, guys. Up until recently, the used car market and buying vehicles have just kind of went through the roof, right? All while at the same time, customers weren't making more money, right? Our customers were not like getting income boosts or income bumps, right? They were for a little bit, less because people couldn't find employment, right? And now everybody's kind of contracting. So, everybody who was kind of, showing up and getting a little extra bonus or a little extra pay at work, right? Because they couldn't find anybody to do the job, they're going to make a little less now. They're going to be more competitive in the marketplace. So income's going to kind of come down a little bit, I think, right? And everything is kind of, inflation is not going to be as high as as it was recently, but I think there's still going to be a kind of a decent percentage, which is the growth is going to kind of continue, but I don't think it's going to continue at the rate it did for the last year and a half. And a lot of people, a lot of dealers are going to contract. So I want to show you guys how to actually dominate your market using suffocation marketing. And let's just kind of go into what it is. So if I had to put this in a sentence, suffocation marketing allows you guys to follow up with your customers, your end market shoppers, frequently and endlessly until they buy. Okay, so I'll show you an example as to how this looks. If I get my face out of the way here. Okay, so this is going to be what most people's funnels or most dealers' funnels are set up, and this is how they measure everything. This is and what I'm getting ready to show you actually happens less than 3% of the time, so it doesn't happen frequently. So this is less than 3% of the time. And what happens is you got a guy like I'm gonna call this guy Joe, right? For whatever reason, Joe's in the market for a vehicle. So what he does is he comes over to your website, okay? And this can happen multiple ways. So this could be someone on Car Gurus and they're looking at a couple different vehicles. You guys showed up a couple times and they just decided to they got curious, click through the link over to your website to see what other cars you have in your inventory. This could be Google My Business. This could be advertising that you guys are running, whatever, okay? Someone's in the market and they end up on your website. And then what ended up happening from here is they enter your sales process because they become a lead, right? So they convert. And then from there, you guys have another conversion where this is online conversion. And then from there, you got the final conversion, which is the offline, which is them purchasing a vehicle, okay? Now, this happens, again, less than 3% of the time. So if you actually look at, well, at least from Joe to an online conversion happens less than 3% of the time. If you guys have decent numbers, the leads that you guys do acquire, right, you should be closing them right around, 10 to 18%, right? I found that to be kind of an average number. So you get 100 leads, you close 18 deals, okay, or however many leads. 10 to 18%. Now you get these from different sources, right? So some sources may be a lot higher than others, right? So this averages out if you are monitoring your advertising and your marketing, right? If you're not, that number can be a lot lower. And I'm gonna show you exactly. So this is what happens 3% of the time. So it doesn't really happen frequently, okay? And then I'm gonna show you what actually happens 97% of the time. So I'm gonna move this up. Maybe I should bring me down first. As a matter of fact, let's just get rid of me for a second. So I'm gonna move this up. This happens 97% of the time. So you still got the same Joe, okay? Again, he finds you some way, somehow. He ends up on your website. And then from here, this is actually what happens, right? He either gets distracted, right? The baby starts crying. It's time to go eat. It's dinner time, right? He either shops, which is going to be shopping your inventory. He may shop, your price, right? He may shop to see if there's someone who has the light interior versus the dark interior. That's inventory, okay? Or he just may not take any action at all, right? Because he may, and that could be for multiple reasons, right? He don't want to get his phone blown up. He don't want people calling him, or he just didn't take action. Period, right? He just decided, I'm not going to fill out this form. Okay, this happens 97% of the time. Okay, and what I want to do is I want to show you guys how you can actually follow up with the majority, because you got to look at this equation here, and let's just put some numbers to this, right? Volume times conversion rate equals, right, your flow. So what a lot of people do, they try, to fix this, right? So they're like, hey, we're at 3%. If I can get to 10%, right, I can add an extra 40 grand to my bottom line. Okay, so a lot of people try to work on this conversion rate, and they just can't. For whatever reason, it just doesn't work out for them. So what they do is they say, hey, listen, my conversion rate it's pretty much going to stay flat. Okay, what I want to do is let me increase my volume. And nothing's wrong with that, right? Nothing's wrong with that at all. But when you have a low conversion rate here, what this tells me is that you really don't have a system. You're just kind of throwing stuff on the wall. Now, if you look at this number-wise, let's just say your PVR, you ran $2,000 a car. Okay, that's your PVR. And with these numbers, let's just say this closed you. Let's just say, okay, for an example, these numbers here, we're going to say you got, what did we say, 3%? So let's say you got 100 visitors, at 3%, that's going to equal you 3 sales, right? 3 sales turned into deals. Okay. If this number were to bump up to 10%, let's just do the number again, right? So we increase our conversion rate to 10%. So now, out of 100 leads that you got, I said visitors, I meant to say leads up here. You're now closing at 10%, okay? That brings you 10 deals. Now, let's just say you're running $2,000 a car, right? You times that by 3. That's $6,000 for that week, day, whatever, okay? But if you're running at 10%, let's just say $2,000 a car during the same time period times 10, what does that equal, right? That gives you $20,000. So what you've done is you've literally added $14,000 to your bottom line because you worked on this conversion rate, right? You worked on this conversion rate and you brought it up. Now, what you got to understand is now, if you guys find it extremely difficult, right, to increase your volume, meaning when you increase your volume, you have to spend more money. That's just how it works. You have to spend more money. And as you're spending more money, okay, there hits a point where, I'm trying to bring my face into this, but it hits a point where you only get so far. Okay, either someone's outbidding you, you're spending more money, and you're getting diminishing returns, right? You only get so far. But if you can increase your conversion rate, if you can use the suffocation marketing to increase your conversion rate, this will allow you guys to sell more vehicles, okay? This will allow you guys to keep more money on the table, and you don't have to worry about how can I get more new customers as a forefront, right? This is the only number that I can manipulate. It's just increasing my volume, meaning I just got to keep throwing money at this thing, right? When you could just work on what you already have, right, inside of your own ecosystem. That's a lot easier, okay? So one of the ways we do this, and I want to bring into some tactical actions on this model here. So for an example, I'm going to draw a funnel out so that you guys can see what's going on. If I can get this to work for me. All right, here's the funnel. Top end of the funnel, you're going to have what we call awareness. This is them just seeing you guys, right? This could be they seen a Google ad, they didn't click on it, but they see, oh, XYZ dealership, okay? What you're going to have right underneath there is a visit, a digital visit. Right, so this could be, hey, I found your Facebook page, I landed on your website, whatever the case may be. And then from there, you have a conversion, which is the internet conversion, right? This is where you actually turn that visit into an actual lead, okay? Where they enter into your sales process, okay? And then obviously from there, at the bottom of the funnel, you got your sale, okay? After they enter your sales process, you close them down, okay? Now, again, what a lot of people focus on is, hey, the only metric that I can control is this number. So I'm going to spend and outbid everybody and even get diminishing returns so that I can increase my awareness, because I know my conversion rate is going to be stuck at, whatever that is, less than 3%. Okay. And what the suffocation marketing system does, it allows you to actually increase this number by just following up, right? You could bring this number up to 15%, and you don't have to worry about throwing money on the wall or outbidding competitors and getting diminishing returns by trying to increase your volume. Now, don't get me wrong. I want you guys to understand volume times conversion rate, right, is going to equal, your deals. So it's not wrong to want to increase this number, okay? You want to increase both of them, but you're getting more bang out of your dollar figuring out a way to increase your conversion rate than to just outbid someone and get diminishing returns, where it's just, let's just say, for an example, you spent $10,000 and you're getting, I'm just throwing a number out there, your cost per lead was $17. Now you're throwing $20,000 out there and your cost per lead is $50, right? So you're getting some diminishing returns there. So let's just kind of get into suffocation marketing and how it works. So the first thing we're going to go over is the channels that we actually use to do this, because all we're doing is we're following up endlessly, right? So for an example, again, I'm gonna draw out Joe. He comes over to the website, okay, and he checks out a vehicle, whatever, and then he leaves and never comes back. What we're going to do is now throw this Joe, we're going to trigger an automation to throw this Joe into a bucket with other people who are doing the same thing, which is, again, 97% of the people. So you're 97% of the people that you're paying marketing dollars to get over to your website. We're going to throw them into a bucket, okay? And now what we're going to do is we're going to follow these people endlessly and frequently, meaning we're going to hit them multiple times a day, and endlessly is going to be longevity, meaning we're going to follow up until these guys buy, right? We may even follow up all the way into their next vehicle purchase, right? So they buy a car now and we're still following up and it's their second vehicle purchase. Endlessly, longevity, okay? So I'm just going to take one of these guys out of the bucket. Let's say we take Joe out of the bucket, okay? As soon as he leaves your website, he gets distracted, whatever the case may be, he pops on his phone. The first thing he's going to do, as a matter of fact, we don't know, but let's just say he used the web, okay? So he's looking up a recipe. Let's say he's in the kitchen, he's getting ready to cook something. He's looking up a recipe. So he goes on a blog site, okay? He's on a blog site and he's looking up a recipe real quick and he sees one of your advertisings on that site, right? He goes, oh, I remember these guys. I was on their website looking at cars, okay? He can click and it takes him back over to the site, right? Or he can just get a visual, okay, I see them. We just implant, we're just following up, right? So again, we want frequency and we also want longevity, okay? Now, let's just say he gets off the blog site and he decides that he's gonna go on Facebook to see what, his friends and family members are doing, okay? As he's scrolling down his news feed, guess what? He sees another ad from you guys, right? Again, gives him the opportunity to do the same thing again. Let's just say he's on Instagram, same thing. If he's on Instagram, IG, you're gonna have the same thing, okay? LinkedIn, if he's on a mobile game, he's playing Candy Crush for whatever reason, you guys are gonna show up there. So this is what we like to call an omnipresence, omnipresence follow-up campaign, okay? Meaning we're going to show up everywhere this person shows up, whenever he connects to his Wi-Fi or to his internet. We're there, okay? And then we're also going to take this online. We're actually going to take this online with, once a person gets to our website, okay, we can actually grab emails, and every time he visits the site, okay, he gets an email sent out to his inbox, okay? So not only are we following up everywhere, and then we actually get them to go back to the site, it automatically triggers an automation to send out an email. Now we're in their inbox, okay? Or we can trigger an automation to send out a direct mail piece, okay? So what I want you guys to understand is that we are following up frequently, meaning they're going to see you guys maybe 10 to 15 times a day, okay? They're going to see you guys 10 to 15 times a day, and this may last for, let's just say we want it to last, and you get to choose this, by the way, a year, okay? Imagine following up with 97% of your customers everywhere they go for an entire year, and they're seeing you 10, 15 times a day. And we're going through a recession, meaning whenever we go through a recession, the other dealers are going to contract on marketing. So they're just going to be like, hey, we're not going to attack this game. We're just going to wait this thing out, or for whatever reason, they just stop. They go backwards, okay? You guys are going forward. When everything snaps back to normal, because something can't be abnormally well or abnormally horrible, and I'm talking about the market, right? So you can't have this, and you also can't have this for long periods of time, okay? Which means if we're doing this, or I'm sorry, if we're going down, we're going to snap back to normal. And when we snap back to normal, these dealers fell off while you guys stayed top of mind the entire time, right? You never gave up during this entire period, right? These people are not showing up here. You've been showing up there. The only time they show up is when everything's going good, okay? So again, that's suffocation marketing. I don't want to spend too much time on that. Listen, if you're looking to dominate your market in the next recession, feel free to schedule a call with us. We'll go over a strategy with you guys. I do appreciate you taking some time out, getting some information on this, and hopefully you guys found some value from this video. Thank you.